If you're a writer struggling to bring your ideas to life, you're not alone. Outlining a book can feel like trying to solve a puzzle with missing pieces. But the difference between a book that flops and one that becomes a bestseller often comes down to one thing: a solid outline. In this video, I'll show you how to master outlining your book so your next project doesn't just get finished, it has the potential to be a hit. And I'm going to do it using a specific example that comes from best-selling author Brandon Sanderson. Brandon has mastered outlining a book. He has even written a guide on how to outline a best-selling book using the exact outline he submitted for his best-selling book, Skyward. So why use this method from Brandon? Brandon Sanderson has sold over 21 million copies of his books worldwide. He's had multiple New York Times bestsellers, raised over $41.7 million from more than 185,000 backers on Kickstarter. One of the major problems that writers face is staring at a blank screen or not being able to finish their book. If you outline using this method, all you will need to do when writing is fill in the blanks. It's 9 simple steps you can follow to plan and, importantly, finish your book. I've also made this book outline document available for you. So the link is in the description below. Go grab that after the video. You can copy it and use it to outline your own books. Okay, let's get into it. Brandon starts with an outline, which is an overview of the story. Just a single paragraph that explains the main concept of the story. It gets the idea out of your head and onto the page. It's important to note, don't feel you have to follow this guide to the letter. This is just a great tool you can use to improve your outlining, and even if you're already in the process of writing your book, this can help you get it finished. The next part of this process is the setting. Now, if you're writing a memoir or something based in the present day, then of course this isn't going to be super relevant. If you write fantasy novels like Brandon, then this will be something you need to spend a lot of time on. You will need to plan your secondary world. For context, our current world is the primary world, where we live right now. And your secondary world would cover things like world building, technology, magic, and more. This section becomes a reference point for the rest of your book, a foundation, if you like, that you can build from. It's also worth noting a section that Brandon uses called Secret. This is for a big plot twist. If you have one of these, this is where to add it. If you're enjoying the video, make sure to like and subscribe for more great content. My goal with this channel is to help you become a better writer, so follow along for more free advice. Next, we need to outline our characters. This is such an important part of outlining that in the Sanderson example, it takes up 3 of the 9 steps. Yes, it's a third of the entire outlining that he does. And every main character gets their own section. Who are they? What they want? What journey are they going on? Sanderson writes as many as 5 paragraphs about these main characters. And then next in the list we have secondary characters, and Sanderson does about 2 to 3 paragraphs for these secondary characters, and then he'll write a paragraph or 2 about the minor characters. Again, like I said before, you don't have to follow this exactly, but you can see how the characters, it comes down to the hierarchy in the story. Remember, you can get the exact outline Brandon used to write his best-selling novel Skyward. Just follow the link in the description below. Now on to step 6. Yes, characters was 3 steps in 1, plus 2 at the beginning. All right, that's enough of a maths lesson. We're all caught up. We're ready to go. So this step still doesn't involve much writing, which is getting kind of weird, isn't it? We haven't done that much writing. This is about preparation, and it will help to build our plot. As you probably know, we have A plots, B plots. For example, hero saves the world, A plot, will he get the girl, B plot. And it's worth noting, of course, you can have as many subplots as you want, C, D, E, you can carry on. Now, Sanderson spends a lot of time thinking about the type of story he wants to tell. He will also look at other similar examples of the story he is telling for inspiration, which is a great tip. Now you have your main ingredients, your setting, characters, plots. Now you need to think about how you bring it all together and satisfy the reader. That's why they're here. That's what they're all waiting for. They want to be satisfied by the end of your story, right? So at the moment, we know where the characters begin, which is steps 1 through 5, and step 6 lets us know where they're going. Think about what will make your readers say, wow, that was a great story. You need to spend a lot of time thinking about this. The end of a story is the payoff the reader has been waiting for this whole time. Nail this, they will keep coming back for more books from you, they will tell their friends, they will rave about your book. Now we need to dive deeper on the plot. This is where things get very interesting. Now I know you're watching this video because you are writing a manuscript or you have one written and aren't sure of the next steps. We offer everything from editorial work such as developmental editing and copy editing to complete publishing packages for authors. Everything you need to help you craft and publish a best-selling book. Okay, now still we haven't actually written anything for quite a while. But don't worry, we are getting there. I know your fingers are itching to get back to typing. So we have our beginning, we have our end, which we figured out in the last step. Sanderson then splits the plot section into each of the plots. What? Okay, so remember we have the A plot and the B plot. That's what we're talking about here. Let's use the A plot as an example. Write one bullet point that explains the start of your story and one bullet that explains the end of your story for the A plot. Now do the same for your B plot. One bullet point that explains the start of your B plot and one that explains the end of your B plot. And do this for any other plots that you have. Now what we need to do is fill in the gaps. Add additional bullet points that are interesting events leading your reader from the start to the conclusion. All the work coming up with characters and settings that you've done in advance will help with this. And then once this is done, we now have a bunch of disconnected plots. Great. So you're probably wondering, how do we tie this all together? So yeah, now is the time to dive in. This is probably one of the most interesting things you can learn from Brandon about how he outlines his books. He grabs bullet points from each plot and combines them into chapters. He uses them like tasks on a to-do list. People often say that too much planning stifles creativity, but I think it's the opposite. Not having anything to work from just leads to a chaotic mess of a plot that will require countless hours from an editor to rectify. And if you're self-publishing, that will be coming out of your pocket, so save some cash and outline. Brandon is also proof that this method of creativity works. I mean, he's sold millions and millions of books. Brandon's method provides structure, and then you get to have fun creating. The bullet point is just the seed of what needs to be created. So there you have it. And to summarize, you need to write a short overview of your story, setting, write about the main, secondary, and minor characters, plot, the archetypes, your plot endings of A, B, and any others, your disconnected plots, and finally, get to writing and connecting all your plots together. Remember, you can get the exact outline Brandon used to write his best-selling novel Skyward. Just follow the link in the description. And if you would like help with improving your writing or publishing a book, get in touch. All of the links are below. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.